Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dining for Women's Google Hangout for this month. This month, our featured program is Sustainable Health Enterprises, or SHE. We have two guests today. First, Laura Haight, our Communications Director. Hi, Laura.
Hey, everybody.
We also have Cece Camacho, who is the Chief Operating Officer of SHE. Hi, Cece.
Hi, everybody.
Sustainable Health Enterprises, or SHE as it is known, was established in the year 2008. Their SHE28 campaign has been in existence since 2009. Presently, SHE has a program in the Kayonza district of Rwanda. So, Cece, would you like to share your program with us?
Great. Well, thank you so much, Veena, for having me today and hanging out with all you and the community for Dining for Women members. It's a pleasure to show you a little bit more about the project, and I'm going to share with you some slides today. Let me just get that up and going. So I'd like to talk today about SHE28 initiative, Girls on the Go. So who is SHE? We're Sustainable Health Enterprises, which is a social enterprise that focuses on investment. And we believe that people in their communities have limitless potential to lead social and economic change. Our first initiative is called SHE28, and it gets to the heart of our mission, where we address girls and women's lack of access to affordable menstrual pads, causing significant costs to their health, education, productivity, and dignity. Our holistic model consists of four major components: business, partnerships, education, and policy change. And so how do we implement this model? I get this question a lot. Well, first we invest in self-sustaining businesses, and in this case, menstrual pads, that grow by investing in women along the value chain, from co-op farmers to factory staff to eventually women franchises. We also maximize the potential of people by building partnerships with schools and communities to break down taboos and change behaviors through education. We also instigate policy change and catalyze community awareness at the national level to ensure long-term sustainability. And our long-term goal is that by 2017, SHE28 will have a replicable blueprint that will reach 250,000 girls, create 1,200 jobs, and launch 15 profitable franchises while changing tax policies and educating students and teachers about menstrual hygiene. So what is the status of menstrual hygiene in Rwanda? Well, we've discovered that 18% of girls in Rwanda miss out on school or work because they can't afford pads. Menstruation and menstrual hygiene remain a taboo topic, which limits open conversations. We've also noticed that there's a lack of girl-friendly wash infrastructure that still exists with the lack of provision of private and safe toilets, trash bins, and water and soap. We also found that the multinational brands cost approximately $1.45, which is also taxed at 18% for a box of 10. And these combination of factors results in girls and women resorting to using a variety of unsanitary materials such as cloth that can be difficult to dry and sanitize, and ineffective products such as toilet paper. And girls and women want effective products. The outcome is girls and women can miss up to 50 days of school and work per year. We believe the potential for economic losses are significant, and we estimate that about $250 in lost income per female per year, which is a potential loss in GDP of US $150 million per year in Rwanda. And the bottom line is that this is lost economic opportunities for girls and women, their families, their communities, and their country. So let me talk to you a little bit about our holistic approach. We intend to fulfill girls' and women's unmet needs by helping local women in low-income countries, and in this case Rwanda, by jump-starting their own businesses to manufacture and distribute affordable, quality, and eco-friendly pads. So how do we do this? Well, first, banana farmers in Rwanda throw away tons of trunk fiber every year. It's considered agro-waste. And we provide them with the equipment and training so they can process it and sell it back to us. We take the fiber to our community factory to be cut, carded, washed, fluffed, and solar dried. And then now it's ready to be made into menstrual pads, assembled, wrapped in eye-catching packaging, and sold at an affordable price point to women and to schools. Then we debunk myths and taboos about menstruation with our health and hygiene education in schools and in the community, and we instigate policy change at the ministry levels. So the results are their jobs for women, education, good health, and dignity for girls and women. The Dining for Women grant not only supports the production and distribution of the pads to the 10 schools, but also supports menstrual hygiene education activities throughout the school year. So let me tell you a little bit more about the SHE LaunchPad. We believe it's spinning banana fiber into gold. So our patented technology transforms local banana stem fibers into chemical and polymer-free absorbent core, which is the most expensive component of any pad to produce. So you'll see in the left-hand corner a woman who is cutting down the banana fibers into smaller pieces, and then it goes into a machine. Then if you go down to the right bottom-hand corner, it's dried, and then it goes back into another machine, and then there's the pulp is produced. So we use little water to conserve electricity and water, both of which are scarce in Rwanda and other countries where the problem exists. Then the pads are distributed to schools and community organizations who purchase them at an affordable price and in bulk. So the Go Pad for a pack of 10 costs approximately 58 cents as compared to the cheapest traditionally manufactured pads currently on the Rwandan market, which costs about 87 cents. The most imported international brands, as I had mentioned, cost about $1.45 for a pack of 10, which is out of reach for many. So currently, the 10 schools, they serve as our first customers this year in 2015 who will buy them in bulk. And because the price is cheaper than the other brands, they can buy more pads for girls. So it's basically a win-win for everybody. So the SHE LaunchPad is branded as Go in Rwanda. And as you can see in the bottom left-hand right corner, that's our packaging that was designed by girls. And after the slideshow, I can show you some pads and banana fibers that I have on hand. The key characteristics of our pads include that they're tailor designed and packaged with feedback from our customers, so girls, and they're disposable. Girls and women have told us time and time after again that they would really like to have disposable pads. They have superior absorption. Our pads have been lab tested and proven to be 2 times as absorbent as a standard commercial pad in Rwanda. So they're effective, and girls can remain confident in the classroom and not be anxious that their pad may leak. They're naturally comfortable, and they're within reach. Our pads are priced and distributed to make sure that Go meets girls where they are. So how do we measure success? How do we know that our project is succeeding? Well, in order to strengthen our model, deliver quality and an affordable product, the Go Pad, and services such as education, as well as to assess our intended social and economic impacts, we partake in monitoring evaluation, which is really critical. The results are analyzed and best practices are shared and adjustments made to ensure that we have a sustainable and scalable model. I'd like to highlight some outcomes that are specific to this Dining for Women grant. For example, key outcomes of business development include manufactured and distributed lowest cost pads on the market, and key outcomes of education include increase in teachers' confidence about discussing puberty and menstruation, as well as increase in knowledge-based skills and behavior change by students. What's on the SHE28 Horizon? Well, much is happening in 2015. It's an exciting year for us. So this year, SHE28 is implementing Phase B of our large-scale industrial manufacturing. This means we'll be delivering 180,000 pads to 10 rural schools in the eastern province near our factory. We'll be training a total of 50 teachers over the school year in puberty education, in menstrual health and hygiene, and developing resources. The teachers will in turn implement these modules into after-school health clubs, impacting 6,000 students, so 3,000 girls and 3,000 boys. And in parallel, we'll continue to conduct national advocacy, instigating tax policy change to eliminate the value-added tax. We'll catalyze awareness campaigns such as Menstrual Hygiene Day, which is on May 28th, and we'll also influence multi-sectoral collaboration, partnerships, and funding. Then SHE28 will begin to scale up in 2016 and learn from the best practices in 2015. So I'd like to just say thank you for your Dining for Women support, and Vina, please, if you have any more questions, I'd be happy to answer them. I'd like to just turn off my...
Cece, thank you so much for that fabulous presentation. There is a lot of interest in the Dining for Women community to get an update on your production process and your production cycle, and you have your show and tell stuff. So
Great. Well, I'd love to do some show and tell. So I had mentioned it all starts off with the agro waste. So these are the banana stem fibers that are raw. They come from the co-op. They go directly to our production site, and there they are cut into smaller pieces and then go into another machine. So this is the banana fiber. It's kind of gold in color. And then they are then, here is a pad, and I'm going to open this pad for you. All and just show you a little bit of the core. I don't know if you can see it, but inside there's the banana pulp. So that's the key core, which is quite expensive when you make pads. So that's where we're able to eliminate a lot of the costs. And then it's wrapped. And then you get this key pad. This is our pad. And then we have our packaging. So then it goes into another package for a package of 10. We will have a different layout in terms of our packaging. We've discovered that we will be not folding them but laying them out, which is another piece of information that's come to us over the last couple months. But it's a great question about production, and we are actually producing 500 pads a day currently, and we're in the process of upgrading one of our machines, and we foresee that in March we will be producing 1,200 to 1,500 pads a day to get us to the 180,000 goal, which means we'll be adding more shifts to our factory site, which means more jobs for women.
Oh, that's wonderful. Can you walk us through the whole process of your creating the education manual and where you are presently?
Absolutely. Well, our staff has been developing a training manual for teachers over the past year, and it has a compendium manual that is for the teachers in order to implement the lessons for their students. And what's critical when you develop training manuals and teacher-student manuals is that you pilot them. And so what we're doing is, as we go through our training, we're piloting them with the 50 teachers and then their students to make sure that we get the feedback that we need to understand what lessons work well, which ones don't, and also to make sure that our content is appropriate and where we need to adjust it, and also to better understand what topics we need to focus on for teacher training that they may not be getting at the national level.
Mm-hmm. You know, this must be such an interesting process for all of you at SHE to get something on paper, to begin to institute it. So can you discuss with us some challenges you must have faced, whether it was dealing with the government or dealing with, I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a great question. Well, I joined SHE in 2009, so then it was just an idea, and now we have a product. And I think, you know, the biggest challenge, which is always an opportunity, is really to see the process. You know, I wanted it to happen 3 years ago, but when you're developing a product and you want to develop a product that is a well-made product that girls like, there's always consumer testing. There's you need to go through an institutional review board, a Bureau of Standards for Quality Assurance, and there are many steps that we need to do within research and development. And so it's been an exciting process to not only see us come from an idea to a product, but also to receive all our consumer feedback, because they've actually provided feedback on our design, and that has actually helped us to fine-tune our machines. And right now we're in the process of fine-tuning our assembler, which will then provide us a larger output so we can scale and meet demand.
Mm-hmm. So what has it been like to work in the country of Rwanda? Given the history of Rwanda, the very painful history, is this like a country that's raring to go? It's just been a very wonderful experience because they just want to do things and move along?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, President Kagame is very supportive of entrepreneurship and businesses thriving. I have been working now for 5 years in Rwanda with my colleagues, and my colleagues they're just full of innovative ideas, energy to move Rwanda forward, and they're always thinking outside the box of how we use local resource materials in the development of our machines, and our factory staff are, they're so proud of the product that they developed, and that they're excited to be part of an innovative solution where they're using agro waste, which is something that would have just been thrown away. So not only is SHE28 creating a new value chain, but new business opportunities for many people. And so it's very exciting to be working in a country that's so supportive of thriving businesses.
Mm-hmm. So one aspect of your business model is about the production of the pads itself. The Dining for Women grant is helping you to kind of do the education part in the schools. So what are your plans for the future? I mean, where do you go on both sides?
No, it's a great question. Well, 2015 is a critical year for us. We will be working to do the large-scale manufacturing, the 180,000 pads, and distributing those. And Dining for Women is supporting that piece, as well as the education activities. Later in 2016, after we do our monitoring evaluation, we will be working with another 20 schools and impacting 9,000 students. And so then our goal then is later in 2016 to impact another 100,000 girls. What's so exciting is that after we work with the 20 schools, we'll be also finding new customers, such as other NGOs, refugee camps, health clinics, kiosks. We'll be moving into new markets. So that's exciting. And then after that, what we'll be doing is testing our 2 franchise models. We have 2 franchise models that we're looking at. We want to see which 2 are the most profitable, so that based on the information we gather, then we can open up franchises for women. So it's a step-by-step process. Some of it is in parallel, and as we go through the process, we learn new things about what works well and what needs to be fine-tuned, so that we can make sure that our businesses are sustainable and profitable. The other most important thing for the future is sharing best practices and sharing what we've learned with the community. We hope to scale beyond Rwanda, and we hope that we can share our blueprint for other countries. We think that this issue is a global issue, and so we hope to open source much of our information. So we're super excited for those opportunities that lay ahead.
I can just imagine. Now, I think in some of your material that we received and films, etc., there was an initial idea of allowing women to kind of produce these at home. I'm guessing that this has to be an industrial scale production, and it would not be a small scale industry.
Well, it's possible that it could be both. We'll be testing these models. The women could be using some smaller machines. The pads are assembled with machines. They're not assembled with sewing machines, but there are different possibilities of how the franchise model could play out, and we're testing those models, whether and to see which ones are most profitable. And we just ask you to stay tuned and join our listserv and see where we move forward with that. We'll definitely be giving updates about which models are working best for the communities that are in for Rwanda and what the women need and want.
With regards to your initiatives on policy, I imagine that you've already done some about the taxation on pads, on the exports, and is there anything about the education? Would you be doing policy on that side too?
That's a great question, Veena. Well, what's been really exciting is that Nadia Hitamana, who's our health and hygiene manager, who unfortunately could not be here today because of the time difference, she has been working very hard. She's on a number of different task force, and she has made sure that the menstrual health and hygiene is in the school health and nutrition plan. So it's part of the after-school clubs in a strategic plan, and to make sure that there are budgets that allow for that planning and implementation. So we're making sure that this key topic is being integrated into ministry plans and after-school clubs.
Okay. Well, Cece, we're running out of time, so do you have any last comments for us?
Well, I just want to thank the opportunity to hang out with all of you today. It's such a pleasure, and it's also a pleasure to share with you the work that we're doing. Thank you to the Dining for Women community for believing in the work we do, for breaking down taboos with your members, and for talking about this in other conversations where you're at, and really making sure that this is a normal process for girls and women. Women and girls struggle around the world, and I really believe that girls should have every opportunity in the classroom to feel confident so that they can go to the chalkboard and learn math and reading and never be, anxious that they don't have a product that's effective. I believe women should feel the same way when they're working. So, we're excited that Dining for Women is supporting us so that we can move forward this year and test our manual, and really make sure that we get those pads to the girls and women that need them.
Well, from all at Dining for Women, we want to thank you, Cece, for joining us. Best wishes to SHE, and thank you, everybody, for joining us at this Google Hangout, and we will see you next month. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Bye-bye.